Besi Sahar, nestled about 175 kilometers from Kathmandu, serves as a central hub for trekkers embarking on the Annapurna Circuit. Whether by bus or high-ace microvan, the road to this gateway rolls through Nepal's timeless countryside, hinting at the adventure ahead. It's day 1, and we set off from Besi Sahar towards Chame by vehicle, choosing to begin our trek from Chame itself. While some trekkers start walking from Besi Sahar, the flexibility allows you to decide your own route once you arrive.
Ladies, where go?
Today we are heading to Chame. Right now we are in Besi Sahar. We are heading to Chame and we'll be closing up there tonight.
La, aram cha haina?
Aram cha, thik cha. Yes,
The road was no gentle welcome. It was a test. Mud-slicked tracks clung to the cliffs and every turn felt like a gamble with gravity. Wheels skidded, stone shifted and silence hung heavy between jolts. Waterfalls spilled recklessly across the path as if the mountains themselves were shedding weight. But somewhere in that chaos between the danger and the dust, the journey began to speak not in comfort but in challenge. After covering about 12 to 13 kilometers, we reached Jagat, a quaint village at 1300 meters, often chosen as the starting point for the trekkers. However, since we had planned to begin our trek from Chame, we continued onward. Just 4 kilometers further, we paused at Chamchi and we lingered to admire the breathtaking view of the Boon waterfall, its mist painting the air with quiet magic. With steaming cups of tea and the Boon waterfall shimmering beside, we savored the moment before setting off towards Chame. The trail hugged the Marsyangdi River, winding through slippery stones and stubborn terrain. Pine forests whispered overhead, and fields of pink buckwheat bloomed like a scattered poems across the valley. The drive was no easy cruise. It wound through narrow, all-terrain roads where only the most seasoned drivers could navigate with ease. We were utterly amazed by the sheer skill our driver possessed. It was nothing short of extraordinary. On roads where an average person would have to give their absolute all, he navigated with calm precision and confidence. Thanks to his remarkable expertise, we reached our destination Chame, safe and sound. Perched at 2,670 meters, where the air thins and the pine-scented breeze carries stories from the peaks, stone houses line the trail like quiet sentinels, and the towering face of Lamjung Himal watches over the village like a guardian. Here, the rhythm slows and the mountains begin to speak in silence. Good morning. It's day 2 and the morning greets us with a clear sky and the crisp mountain air we've been dreaming of. Our trek officially begins today. After a quick breakfast, we set off. The path winds through ancient pines, their whispers carried by the wind as we tread softly over frost-kissed earth. Each step feels like a page turned in a story long etched into the land. Suddenly, the trail comes alive. A herd of goats trots past, their bells jingling like laughter. Agile and sure-footed, they navigate the rocky path with ease. We pause for a moment, sharing the trail with these mountain nomads, and move ahead. Tilicho passes quietly, and soon we reach Bratang, a village where apple trees stretch in ordered lines beneath the solemn gaze of Himalayan giants. We pause here, savoring the crisp bite of fresh fruit, a small joy cradled in mountain stillness. The landscape begins to shift, the trail turns dramatic, curving along cliffs, crossing swaying bridges suspended over rushing rivers. A narrow stone path snakes along a mountain's edge, caught between a plunging gorge and towering rock. Its beauty is striking, its danger undeniable. The mountains stood tall and the valleys stretched deep, cloaked in clouds that veiled Swargadwar from view. Yet its myth lingered in the air, whispering through the hills like a sacred secret.
Tired of fitting in, wanna do something well different. I'm thinking brand new thoughts, so future.
The rugged trail gives way to a tranquil forest, where dappled sunlight and earthy scent creates a serene sanctuary. Each step feels sacred, echoing softly through nature's hushed cathedral.
Stay busy grinding, I ain't got the time, got business to be minded. I'm a boss, you know this.
6 kilometers of steady walking led us to Thukur Pokhari. A small tea house offers warmth in the form of lemon tea, citrusy, soothing, alive. We rest here, cups between our palms, letting the stillness refill our lungs.
We are in Pisang, Thukur Pokhari, and we've stopped for a tea right now. I'm having lemon tea, hot lemon tea, very refreshing, and it's good.
From Thukur Pokhari, the trail offers a choice: the lower path to Pisang's gentle slopes, or the high road leading us into the wind and elevation of Upper Pisang. We choose the climb. It's steep and a breath grows shorter, but the views lengthen in return. By afternoon, we arrive. Upper Pisang, perched beneath the sacred gaze of Annapurna's icy sentinels, welcomes us not with grandeur, but with grace. And here, among colorful cottages and the quiet hum of trekkers and hosts, we find kindness. A lodge offering Nepali travelers free rooms if they choose to dine there. We accept with gratitude. The room is clean, warm, and enough. It feels like a well-earned pause at the edge of the world.
कस्तो लाग्दैछ खाना?
खाना एकदम सिम्पल दामी
You? Babal. Nice.
Babal.
As the sun lowers and the prayer flags rustle in the twilight wind, stone homes, prayer wheels, and gumpas speak softly of peace as we settle in for the night, cradled by stone walls and mountain dreams. The morning unfurled in whispers, fresh air, muted skies, and a quiet absence of mountain silhouettes. No dramatic peaks today, just the hushed charm of Lower Pisang resting in a blanket of cloud.
Hello. Good morning. What's for the breakfast?
Chamba porridge for me, oats with apples for Paul and Nivea. Our breakfast was gentle and grounding. Sampa porridge warmed me from the inside out. Paul and Nivea shared oatmeal, quiet laughter, and a few slow sips of morning tea. Just as we stepped out, a light drizzle kissed the rooftops. Our raincoats came on, and the soft rhythm of raindrops joined us like a soundtrack for the day. The trail welcomed us with open arms, buckwheat fields stretched wide, their coral pink blooms swaying like they were breathing. Paddy fields glimmered in golden rhythm, apple orchards framed the path, sweet and familiar, their scent lingering in the gentle breeze. We took a detour toward Green Lake, and there, time paused. The lake sat still, a mirror to the sky, untouched and quiet. We didn't speak much, just stood, letting its silence wash over us, letting the moment root itself deeply in our memory. The climb ahead was steep, the altitude unforgiving. But as we moved onward, the trail loosened, gravel crunching beneath each step. The terrain softened, pine forests welcomed us, prayer flags fluttered in the wind, and the scent of juniper filled the air. We passed through tiny hamlets where time seemed to stand still. And through forested stretches and winding bends, we reached Humde after about 7 kilometers. A warm lemon tea break welcomed us into its comfort, and there, between sips and smiles, we met a 2-year-old boy named David. His laughter danced through the air, bright, trusting, effortless joy wrapped in toddler charm. The final stretch was a gentle march, roughly 8 more kilometers. Flat roads, sun overhead, heat resting heavy on our shoulders, we crossed the village of Braga. The stones, the prayer wheels, the silence, and then, without fanfare but with full hearts, we arrived.
Hello.
फाइनली हामी मनाङ आइपुग्यो आम्मामामामा त्यो हामीलाई बानी नभएर होला कि खुट्टा भन्दा पनि तपाईँको यो लगेज यो कुम यो ढाड पैताला चाहिँ सक्लाक भइदियो
Manang, standing tall at 3,540 meters, nestled deep in the Himalayas, 15.7 kilometers behind us, and a journey that stretched far beyond footsteps. Tomorrow's a rest day to acclimatize, soak in the views, and let the altitude set in. Day 4, Acclimatization Day here in Manang. By now, breakfast with a view has become a ritual. Some mornings greet us with jagged peaks laced in snow, and others whisper soft tales of alpine forests and fluttering prayer flags. Nature's mood sets our plate and our pace. After a warm, simple breakfast, we laced up and began our hike to Chongkor viewpoint. The trail was gentle but grounding, each breath stretching into the thinning mountain air, each step quietly asking more. One side stops us cold, Annapurna Lake. Once a turquoise mirror, now lies brown and shallow, its shimmer lost to sediment and time. Landslides and glacial retreat have left it gasping. A quiet lament echoing climate's touch even in these sacred heights. Near the top, the trail narrowed, lined with dry alpine shrubs and listening stones. The viewpoint felt like a quiet dialogue between earth and sky. Only the wind spoke, rustling through prayer flags. Below, Manang lay timeless, bathed in golden light. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. We lingered there longer than we intended. Eventually, we descend. With each step down, the altitude became a whisper again, not a weight. We reached into the heart of the village, weaving through stone paths and sun-kissed homes. We reached the Chorten, whitewashed, gently gilded, nestled near a bend. Money stones circle its base, their carved prayer faded but potent. Above, prayer flags flutter as the wind sings, a wordless story carried through the air. Here, we realize today wasn't about elevation. It was about attunement to loss, to change, to clouded mystery and stone-carved stories. Not a destination, but a stillness. A quiet seeing of what's always been. We woke up to a crisp, clear morning in Manang, feeling more at ease after a day of acclimatization. Good morning from Manang. We have just left the hotel and we're heading towards Tilicho base camp today. And it'll take around 6 to 7 hours to reach. And we'll be gaining the altitude of about 600 meters, I guess. This is Nivya.
See you at Tilicho base camp.
See you. We will not be rushing much. We'll walk at our own pace very slowly.
Because the path is very dangerous, they say.
Yes.
Landslides. And the rocks keep on
Falling. So we
have to save our head. At
we
least
really got to be careful. Alright, see you. There's Paul coming right at the back, wearing neon green t-shirt. Alright. The sky was a deep Himalayan blue, and the surrounding peaks stood tall and proud. Annapurna 2, Gangapurna, Tilicho Peak and Shulu West, all visible in the morning light, like silent guardians of the valley. As we left the village, the trail gently curved past chotens and prayer flags. The path was well trodden. We walked with a sense of quiet reverence, leaving behind the warmth of Manang and its people. But somewhere along the way, we took a wrong turn, a trail that would have led us directly to Thorong La Pass, bypassing Tilicho Lake, which is a high-altitude glacial lake nestled beneath the towering Tilicho Peak, known for its surreal turquoise hue and spiritual significance. हामी Tilicho base camp जान खोजेको त Thorong La Pass को route लिइपठाएछु wrong route लिइपठाएछु 20-25 minutes जस्तो यो ट्रेल हिँडेपछि एकजना गाइडले भन्नु भुन्दा मात्रै थाहा लाग्यो त्यही लागि हामी फेरि फर्किँदैछौँ फर्किएर चाहिँ अनि थोरङ ला पासको तिलिचो लेकपट्टिको तिलिचो बेस क्याम्पपट्टिको बाटो लिनेछौँ अहिले हामी Realizing the detour, we retracted our steps and found the correct trail that hugged the banks of the Marsyangdi River, its icy water rushing below us. After about 4.3 kilometers, we reached Khangsar village, a quiet settlement perched at 3,800 meters, where traditional Tibetan-style homes sit beneath fluttering prayer flags. As we passed through, the soundscape changed. Mules trotting along the narrow path, their neck bells chiming in rhythmic harmony, echoing off the stone walls and cliffs. यो स्ट्रेच क्रस गरिसकेपछि शेख हर्कामा बस्ने सामान आदि झार्ने अनि तिलिचो बेस क्याम्पतिर लाग्ने The trail narrowed and steepened, winding through dusty switchbacks and sparse alpine shrubs. Another 3 kilometers brought us to Sri Kharka, a windswept outpost nestled against the hillside. The final stretch to reach it was steep and demanding. We paused here to rest and lighten our load, leaving behind half our gear in anticipation of tomorrow's return and onward journey to Letdar. With lighter packs, we pressed on toward Tilicho Base Camp. The trail grew more dramatic. The infamous landslide area loomed ahead, with overhanging rock and loose cree underfoot. Pebbles skittered down the slopes as we walked, and the sound of falling stones reminded us to tread carefully. Massive boulders flanked the trail, some precariously balanced, others split by time and weather. The landscape was stark and powerful, raw earth, jagged rock, and the distant shimmer of glaciers. We crossed narrow ledges carved into the cliffside, with sheer drops above and below, and the Jarsang Khola, a tributary of the Marsyangdi River. After approximately 6 kilometers, we finally arrived at Tilicho Base Camp. Sitting at 4,140 meters, the relief was palpable. After 7 to 8 hours of rigorous walk, we have finally reached Tilicho Base Camp. So excited and so tired. Hello, mister. Are you tired? Thakyo? Not even in a state to speak. We had covered nearly 15 kilometers today, and the first thing we did after check-in was sip on garlic soup, a traditional remedy to help the body adjust to the altitude. It was warm, pungent, and oddly comforting, just what we needed. It's day 6. Under a canopy of stars, we began our ascent from Tilicho Base Camp at 4 a.m., aiming to greet the glistening Tilicho Lake at sunrise. The trail was steep and rocky, testing our patience. But with each step, anticipation built. Then came golden hour, soft light spilling over the peaks. The world fell silent, majestic, and sacred. As daylight broke, snow-capped giants rose around us. Nilgiri, Khangsarkang, and Tilicho Peak loomed beside us. At times, their icy crowns felt just within reach. After 3 hours of climbing over rocky ground, we reached Tilicho Lake. Serene sky blue cradled at 4,919 meters. Its stillness shimmered like liquid sky. We lingered, letting the silence sink in. Soon we began the 6-kilometer descent. Easier than the climb, but every step still demanded focus. Stone and gravel beneath our feet. Back at base camp, breakfast was quiet, grateful. One last glance at the view we now carried within.
Hello from Tilicho Base Camp. आज हामी बिहानै 3:30 मा उठेर तिलिचो लेक हेर्न गयौं. यति राम्रो भ्यू थियो, वेदरले हामीलाई कति फेभर गर्यो. अब हामी त्यहाँको बेस क्याम्प फर्केर ब्रेकफास्ट गरेर चाहिँ जाँदैछौँ श्री खड्कापट्टि. हामीले आधाउधी सामानहरू त्यतातिर छोडेका छौँ. त्यहाँनिर बसेर पुगेर लन्च गरेर आज ती बस्ने लाग्छ होला 2-3 घन्टा. अहिले बज्यो तपाईको 11:10 अनि भोलि चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट उकालो लाग्ने.
Retracing our steps to Sri Kharka, the familiar path felt different, less about reaching and more about reflecting. One truth stayed with me. The beauty here isn't just in snowcaps and sunrise, but in the lives that move quietly through these trails. While we pack light, locals carry loads that defy belief. Each step a quiet act of endurance. Their strength echoes in the silence, their stories etched into every stone. By dusk, we reached Sri Kharka once again, this time to stay overnight, nestled in familiarity. Tomorrow, we moved towards Letdar. Day 7 on the trail. This morning greeted us with something rare and precious, a clear sky. After days of unpredictable weather, the sun finally unveiled the grandeur of the Himalayas.
Good morning from Sriharka. It's 8:16 and we are leaving for Letdar today. The weather is pretty clear, sunny, hot outside. Alright. यत्रो भारी बोकेर मान्छेहरू कहाँ जान्छ? हामीलाई एउटा ब्याग बोकेर हिँड्नु मरेको जस्तै हुन्छ.
Our path today led us to Letdar, a gentler stretch compared to the rugged climbs we've conquered before.
यक्खरका जाने बाटो चाहिँ टाइनी ट्रेल भएर जानुपर्दछ. No roads.
We began our walk beneath a sapphire sky with Tilicho peak rising like a sentinel in the distance. Its jagged silhouette carved against the horizon, offering one of the most dramatic vistas along the Annapurna Circuit. The air was crisp, the silence profound, broken only by the crunch of our boots on the trail. Though the route was mostly narrow trails, it wasn't without its challenges. Steep slopes appeared suddenly, demanding focus and steady breath. One misstep, and you tumbled straight down to the roaring Kangsar Khola below, a reminder of nature's raw edge. Midway, we paused for a ritual that's become familiar. A pit stop for lemon tea and black coffee. Simple comforts, but up here, they feel sacred. The warmth seeped into our bones, and with renewed energy, we pressed on. The final stretch was a climb through winding paths etched into the mountainside. After 5 hours and 30 minutes of walking, covering roughly 17 kilometers, we arrived at Letdar. The altitude gain was modest, just 150 meters, but we now stood at a breathtaking 4,209 meters above sea level. Letdar welcomed us with its quiet charm, nestled among towering peaks and whispering winds. Another milestone reached, another story etched into the soul of the Himalayas.
Hello. 7:49 लेदरबाट निस्केको वेदर चाहिँ टलक्क भइरहेछ है. हाम्रो भाइ पनि छ यहाँनिर आज. खै where is the other one?
Day 8. We began our trek at 7:45 after a warm breakfast and quiet anticipation. Nivya wasn't feeling her best today, so she hired a porter. That made us four, moving together gently. Local yaks lounged on the trail unbothered, as if guarding the silence. No mountains in sight today, yet the scenery held its own kind of magic. cool air wrapped around us like a quiet blessing as we faced one of the toughest stretches yet. We walked along rough trails, the river humming below, Kune Khola, steady and cold. After about an hour and a half and nearly 5 kilometers, we reached Thorong Phedi. We paused for the tea, breath catching up, a quiet ritual before the climb.
How's the walk?
Walk. Just very nice, challenging, walking in high altitudes. But I'm happy that
We made it till here,
we
right?
made it till here.
The uphill to high camp was brutal. Just an hour's climb, but it drained every ounce of energy. Each step was a small triumph, each breath a reminder of how far we had come. And then we made it. High camp, a place to rest, to reflect, and to prepare for tomorrow, the crossing of Thorong La Pass. We're tired, but excited and ready. It's 4 a.m. We gather in the dining hall, half awake, half thrilled, fueling our bodies with breakfast and our minds with resolve. Today, we climb the most awaited stretch of our journey, the Thorong La Pass. As we step into the cold darkness, a quiet procession begins. Trekkers ahead, trekkers behind. Each of us part of a winding chain moving uphill. We start early to outrun the weather, unpredictable at this altitude. The terrain is rugged, the air thinner with every step. Views are scarce, hidden behind the veil of altitude and effort. After a little over 2 hours of steady ascent, we reach the top, 5,416 meters, the Thorong La Pass. A moment of quiet triumph around us, only snow-capped peaks and a humble stone shack offering tea, coffee and warmth. We pause, we soak in the stillness, the achievement, the altitude.
Hello. Namaste. So we have finally reached Thorong La Pass. The altitude stands 5416 meter. You can see the range behind. That's Haulagiri range. And we came from this side, reached Thorong La Pass, and now we are heading to Muktinath from this way. It's downhill, it's going to be... Yes, it is definitely going to be challenging walking downhill. Thank you, so it feels great.
We begin our descent toward Muktinath. The path winds through barren hills, gentle but relentless on the knees. From the icy heights of Thorongla to the sacred serenity of Muktinath, we descend from Manang's rugged beauty into Mustang's spiritual soul.
Last ever bridge we will be crossing. This is in Mustang. In front of me is Nivea. And we have Paul leading on.
3 hours of downhill walking, each step bringing us closer to the sacred. Muktinath, the temple of salvation. We arrive, we reflect, we complete what we came to do. This is our final destination. From here, a bus to Jomsom, a night's rest, and onward to Pokhara. And just like that, our trek ends, but the journey stays with us.